Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Sean, from Sean's-Thoughts.com, the co-creator of Let Me, or the creator of Let Me, and with my business partner, April, coming with a vlog. You guys have seen me do this. So right now, it's March 1st. We're the third month of the year already. Like seriously, the third month already. And we've just passed the year mark of our pandemic. Well, we've been over a year, but when we started locking everything down, certain kids have been out of school for over a year. And as our schools start to fill in again, we start getting a little bit back to quote unquote normal. The high school here in South Kitsap is getting ready to start bringing students back in. It's the highest level that hasn't been back to school yet. And I started thinking about what people are talking about currently on social media, on my social media, and around the things that I'm hearing, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter or even Instagram in some cases. And it got me thinking about the year. And like I said, what people were talking about as we go on. So there's a generic question, or rhetorical, I suppose, question is, what have you done in this year, in this past year? See, right now, people are really, they're doing the thing where they start to knock all the things they didn't do. I've used the term COVID pounds, a COVID weight, right? Oh, wow, man, I gained weight, or I didn't do this and this. Some people are the exact opposite. They were like, I learned a new language, I did this thing, I went, I saved money, whatever, right? Some people were forced to change jobs or realize that change priorities in life, all that. So the question is, what did you do over this past year? I've heard someone say, if you didn't learn anything, you wasted it. And that's not true. It simply isn't true. Um, and this is kind of where I was going in my head. Anyway, um, we like to say that we waste our lives away. Like somebody wastes their lives away. Somebody sat on the couch every day, never did a thing for 30 years, and they pass away. Man, that guy wasted his life. But if that was what that person wants to do, then it wasn't a waste. Like life is about what we choose to make it. Correct? Yes, correct. I don't know. I've asked you that. It's what we choose to make it. Life is about our choices and what we value. So when I ask the question of what did you do or what did you learn or what over the last year, I'm asking more from an internal point for you yourself. Because what's going to happen is we start getting back in and we start comparing notes. We start comparing notepads. Oh, I got to do this, this, and this, and this. Oh my God, I didn't get to see my family. This was horrible. Oh my. Yeah, ask yourself, what did you do? For me, this time was a time of great reflection, by choice and not by choice. I've strengthened some relationships that I've had that are very close and dear to me. I've let go of some relationships were close and dear to me. But more importantly, I learned value, and I'm going to share that with you. I've learned value. I learned value in myself and in the thing and in the people and things around me. Um, I value my students who showed up, whether it was one student in a class or 5 to 10 in my Zoom classes and dealt with the glitches and all that stuff. I value them. So when one asks, hey, I know you're tired and it's just me, are you sure you want to do this class? I went, yes, because I value that person and I value them more now than I did before, because before I would take it for granted. I would take that somebody shows up for granted. I would take that I'm a good instructor and people are going to show up for granted. And I was always respectful, but there was a piece of that. And so now I value that more. I value people's time. I value my time. Throughout this pandemic, I've reached out to people, asked how they were. I've checked in on folks. I've sent messages and inspiration and all these things. And I will be very honest, 90% of the time, it's the messages we send and the connections we make get ignored, and nobody responds and nobody says anything. And so I stopped doing that. And I started being very selective. So now I'm selective with who I engage that time with. I still do my generic post, but I'm more susceptible to being more thoughtful on who I reach out to, and understanding what people value. Right? In that case, didn't value what I needed. I mean, they didn't just want it, and I don't want to assume that people did or didn't. But what I realized was my time is valuable to me, and what I give is what I give authentically. What I do here, right, this thing right here, very rarely do you hear me promote my books or my blogs or my things. I tell you to go to the website, but I don't. This is not for me to quote unquote gain followers. Yes, if I can, awesome, but it's for anybody who needs to hear it. So I value my time, and I'm valuing yours that you take it, which is why I always respond to people who respond authentically to my messages. What I got over the year was that what I got was I took a step back and I reevaluated my purpose and my goals. I reevaluated what I was doing and where I was heading, and how I was damaging some of the relationships that are close to me. I reevaluated that, and I think I'm smarter. I think I've done better. I think I listen better, and I connect better. I think I'm more authentic, even though I was pretty straight up before. But I believe I'm more authentic with compassion, and not because COVID forced me, but because I allowed myself to grow in these things. So as we get back into the world, I don't believe I will go back to some of those things that I was doing before, because I authentically tried to grow, and I authentically did the evaluation. So when I ask you, what did you do? What did you learn? What did you gain? That's the thing. What did you gain that's going to stick with you past normal, right? Are you a better person? Are you more understanding? Have you learned to apologize for what you've done or your mistakes? I mean, a lot of us stood on different sides of the field or the tracks these past couple of years, very angry and very hurtful. Or did you realize that you weren't in the right or good or being kind? And are you authentically changing that? Are you giving yourself that lesson, and are you taking it with you on to the next thing when everything gets back to normal? I sincerely hope so. This message is, now it's 8 minutes. This message, this vlog, this thought is just to let you know that we all learned from this thing. We all grew, whether we wanted to or not. We will never go back to normal, right? There's a new normal. There will be a new normal. And there's a new you. How you represent that you, how you show that you, how you grow from that you, is up to you. But for the many people I've seen do some amazing things over this pandemic and over these lockdown months, I am grateful. I have been touched by a lot of people, by their creativity, by their compassion, by their kindness. And so as we start with March, I want to remind you and myself too, that living every tiny moment exceptionally is about growth. It's about understanding. It's about stopping. It's about reflection. Today, I gave you reflection on me, and hope that somebody got something out of it. That's it. I'm not going over 10 minutes. You guys take care of yourself. Welcome to March. Before we know it, it's going to be August. I swear. Thanks to everybody who listens to us, who reads our blogs and our vlogs, listens to our vlogs, and connects with us on all the social media platforms. For Sean and April, who's teaching the young minds right now, live every tiny moment exceptionally. Let me. Until next time, friends. Peace.